What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So it is Sunday, so you guys know what that means, Faith Fun Days. And today I'm just going to be talking about the clothing brand that I want to start. I don't know if you guys saw my last week's video. I pretty much gave you guys a sneak peek of what brand I'm going to be doing. It is Christian based, so that's why I'm posting this on a Sunday. So let me give you guys a quick backstory on how this came to life. For the longest time, I struggled with finding my purpose. You know, like everyone has a purpose, you just have to find it. It's very difficult to find it. You know, I wanted to be a professional skater. I wanted to be a professional soccer player. I wanted to be a DJ. I wanted to do, boxing. I wanted to do so many things, but I just struggled. Like I was doing it for a while and then I didn't like it in like a couple of months. I did something else for a while. I didn't like it for a couple of months. So I would just like struggle with that for the longest time. You know, there's so much more than, just a regular, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 24/7, 365. There's so much more to life than just, going to the gym, going to work, coming home, watching Netflix, doing whatever, running errands, and just waiting for the weekend every single week. So I was like, dude, there's like so much more to life than just doing that. That's my mindset that I have. Not everyone has that mindset. There are people that are comfortable with their 9 to 5. I have no problem with that, but as far as like me, I don't want to do that. I know I was made for more. Same thing with all of you guys. You guys are made for more. You guys do have a purpose. You just have to find it. It is very difficult to find your purpose, and it is going to take a while, but everyone has a purpose. It even says it in the Bible, but I'll put it right here, what verse it is. And I've always been involved in clothing. I've always liked clothing, streetwear, all of that stuff. I've always wanted to start my own brand. So that's where the clothing side came. So that's why I named it Purpose. There's one word in front of it and then purpose. The reason I started a Christian brand is because I've been posting on social media for a couple of years now. I have my own separate car page that I post just about, cars, car meets, car shows, whatever, anything that's car related. Kind of was getting a little bit boring because it's just posting the same thing, your car in a different location. It's just the same thing, so I was getting kind of over it. I was like, dude, I want to do something more. Like I said, I don't want to be known just for cars. So this is my car page on Instagram. Go ahead and check it out. So 9 posts. I've had a lot more. I've had like over like 100, but then I kind of just like archived them. That's my Instagram account. And this is my YouTube account. YouTube quite often. I do post on YouTube pretty often. This is my TikTok account. So I am posting pretty often. My most viewed on TikTok is 85,000. And like I said, the reason I'm saying all this is because I know this is a sign from God. Because like I said, I've been doing cars for maybe like 3-4 years ago. And I've been posting it ever since. And like I said, the reason I know this is a sign from God is because I have 458 followers, 38,000 total likes. And if we head over to my other account where my verses, my other page, so I've been posting verses since July 17 of this year. And I literally grew my page to 1,051 followers, 427,000 likes, and 1.7 million views. So I just started. And if you go more down, this is where you could even check. This is all like the funny stuff that I would post. And it's only like 700, 900, 300, 400, 500, 900, 700, 300. You guys get the idea. So that's how I know this is a sign from God that I was made to start a Christian brand, because my car page is not doing good. So then I started posting about verses, and that blew up in 3 months. And then I sent a screenshot to my family because we have a group chat, and then they were like, oh damn, like good job, keep doing it, you got it, keep posting about that, it's a sign from God. And then I was like, dude, like that's freaking crazy. And then I got home, and then we were talking about it, and then my family was like, dude, like you need to like start a brand, start something. because, you know, this is a sign from God, you know, maybe this is your purpose, to build a community or build a Christian based brand. And then at first I was like, nah, because I was working on another brand. So then I was like, nah, I wasn't interested. And then I started seeing more. I was reading through the comments, and then there was like, this helped me, you know, just like a bunch of like good comments. You know, like, I needed this, like, this is my favorite verse, all of that good stuff, you know. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, damn, like, that's very, like, that got me inspired. So then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna build a brand, Christian-based brand. I want to spread the word. And, you know, I just want to put myself out there, you know, maybe this is why God made me, to make a Christian-based brand. Like I said, I was working on another brand, but I kind of just pushed that to the side and made this a bigger priority. So that's pretty much where the Christian-based brand, you know, came alive, you know, just from posting on social media, and then my family, you know, inspiring me. So I'm doing everything at home. I bought a heat press, I bought the transfers, I got all the blinks, so I'm doing everything at home. Some of these are still like, I'm still getting used to. This is my first time doing, you know, shirts on my own, you know, getting the transfer, make sure it's lined up straight, doing the heat press. This is my first time, so some of them came out a little bit crooked. You might not be able to tell, but I need to, you know, eventually find another easier way. So the brand is called Greater Purpose. And this is the front. They're all going to be the same as far as the front, as far as like the hoodies, crew necks, shirts. They're all going to be the same. Kind of like it's just like clean and simple. The biggest part that's going to change is the back. So this one says, born with a calling. And then the bottom is the verse. So this was the first design that I ever did, and I'm very happy about that one. The second one was the shirt. Second one was this one. Like I said, front, they're all going to be the same, just clean and simple. And then this one says, created for a purpose. And on the bottom, it's going to say the verse. So the main difference is just going to be the back. And these two are my favorite ones so far. And this one says, no fear but God. And then the bottom says the verse. This one's honestly one of my favorite ones. This one, like I said, this one are my two favorite ones. And it's getting cold here in California, so I thought the hoodies was probably the best. And this one is a crew neck. And this one says, on purpose, for a purpose. And then, of course, the verse. I really like this one because, you know, a lot of people are saying, you know, I was an oops baby, or I was made on accident. But at the end of the day, none of us were made on accident. We're all made on purpose, for a purpose. Like I said in the very beginning of the video, we're all made for a purpose. You just have to look for it. And it's very difficult to look for it. It's going to take time, and you're going to have to try out different things. There's people that can get it, you know, right away. I just wasn't that person, but I'm very glad, you know, I'm excited to start this. I know I want to make a movement. I know I want to make a community out of this. I'm just starting out. These are just a few samples. This is going to be my #1 focus right now. I'm just going to go ahead and put my time, investment, money, all of that stuff into this brand, because like I said, I'm very excited, and you can kind of do it as like a streetwear and just regular casual, you know. That's pretty much why and how Greater Purpose came alive. Go ahead and let me know if that inspired you. Go ahead and, like I said, leave your feedback down in the comments below. I'd love to read them, and let's go ahead and get this thing started. I can't wait. I'm very excited, and I will see you guys in next week's video.